So early in May of 2019, there was an article released naming Magic as the most complicated game in the world. Do you think that there's like a natural cap to the popularity that Magic can have with that inherent complexity?
So I think that from a computer program perspective, Magic is definitely an incredibly complex game. There's a whole lot of lines that happen. I feel like from actually playing that there's, it's pretty complex certainly, but there's other games that I've played that have been more complex.
I'd say it's a toss-up, at least in my eyes. I don't know if I agree with the article completely. I do remember reading it. I'd say that either StarCraft Brood War or StarCraft 2 are up there with it. The knowledge cap, I'd say, on Magic is much higher. Maybe the skill level's a little bit lower than StarCraft or about equal. I'm not quite certain. But yes, I definitely say the complexity of the game lowers the popularity, at least in terms of like competitive player base. The casual player base is a lot larger than, say, StarCraft, for example.
The cap, I don't think, is limited to people's skill level. I think it's part of that. Part of it is time, right? You need experience, you need time with it. It is a game that rewards being faithful to it. The more you put into it, the more it gives out. I don't think there's another game that gives you that feeling, right? That the time you put in is everything that you're capable of getting out of it. I think it is, while it has moments where it feels like it's the hardest game in the world, when it flows, when you feel as if your play style is liquid, it is the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't found anything more rewarding, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Magic also, depending on formats, there's a greater degree of variables kind of thrown into it. So like if you're drafting, the variables are exponential, or if you're playing like a constructed format, the variables go down a little bit. You know exactly what you're doing, what you're playing, and sort of how to counteract other decks. I mean, the better you get, the better you are at it.
Where Magic gets complex is more in just the variations of the amount of cards over 25 years. So if you're playing things like Vintage or Legacy where you can play those kind of cards, you're going to run into that a lot more than the standard format.
If you narrow it down to formats like standard or limited, where there's a lot less possibilities, and it becomes much more approachable and palatable for people, and that's why it's so popular.
Do you think that there's a natural cap on Magic's popularity given that complexity?
No.
No, it's just good to go. You think that it's going to expand and grow no matter what the complexity of the card game is?
I feel like there's infinite niches. I mean, they took commons and turned it into a format.
Right.
So as long as people are interested in Magic, it will continue to grow.
Magic is in a place right now where there's a lot of introductory levels to it. So like Arena, right? Anyone can hop on Arena, they can play for free. There's tutorials on it. So I don't think we'll see a cap for a long time. I mean, I think we'll see maybe a shift as far as more experienced players on how they feel about Magic, but that's always going to be, that's always going to be fanboys and fangirls feeling about something. But I don't think there's going to be a cap on, introductory new players coming in.
So there's this really cool computer game called MTG Arena that you can jump on and boom, you can just learn by yourself really quick. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it is. Like I can see, I've been playing almost since the beginning, so I can definitely see jumping into like Legacy or Vintage or stuff like that being really complex for some people, but jumping into Standard or just drafting is usually not that bad, I don't think.
So yeah, I would imagine that there's some amount of cap put on it, but the simple truth of the matter is that Magic has been moving less in a direction of, hey, you need to be like the very best, and more in a like social direction.
I think Mark Rosewater has posted saying something along the lines of 90 to 95% of Magic players are what we call kitchen table Magic players. I like using the term social Magic players, something that Brian David Marshall actually posted on Twitter recently about. Casual kind of comes with this negative connotation. Social Magic is a lot more friendly and accepting to people.
I don't want to come and play in like the big GP event here because I think I'm going to win, or I think I'm going to grind it in, or it's fun to play 9 rounds of Magic in one day. I don't want to do that anymore. What I want to do is hang out with my friends and play games with them. Like I can sit at a kitchen table and joke around with my friends playing Magic for 9 hours, but sitting here staying focused on a tournament like that, I've hit my limit on doing that now.
But just generally, I've been feeling like Magic has become more social at its top levels. I always felt like when I was playing more, that it was social at an LGS side, and then when you get to a big tournament, everybody was trying to really win. But now I've been feeling a lot more social of environment here. They've been bringing by Command Fests, which have been fantastic. They haven't been great for the vendors, not gonna lie, but from a player perspective, it's really amazing. We vended DC and Seattle, and in both places, I think there was like 1 or 2 people I saw over the weekend who weren't just having a fantastic time.
That's so great to hear.
Whereas at a GP, somebody loses, they go, "Oh no, I lost,
paid all this
bad
money
beat
to
story."
show up. And there was an article released that Magic is actually the most complicated game in the world. Whether you agree with that or not, I know we play like Commander and stuff like that, so it's a pretty casual format. But do you think there's like an inherent cap on Magic's popularity with that natural complexity?
Oh yeah, no, that's what I run into all the time. Is there's always so much to learn about the game, and I mean, I might have a little bit of ADHD, and it might be hard for me to focus just in general, but yeah, there's definitely times when playing the game where it's like I can't, it becomes frustrating because there's the amount of things you just don't know about something. And thankfully the play groups and stuff that I've been a part of, they're very kind to me. They're like, "Oh, well, this is infect. Let me teach you about infect damage." I was like,
die every time.
Yeah, it's just like, well, this sucks. I hate this.
Learned. Yeah.
No, I definitely go through kind of a love-hate relationship
Sure.
with playing the game, as I assume most people do.
Yeah, I would assume so as well.
The last Commander game I played was against a dude that had probably a $3,000 deck. That's no fun. I don't like doing that.
We keep it budgeted Nerd Jam for sure.
No, that's definitely the best way to go about it. Something fun for people,
Exactly.
Commander has been a big change. Brawl has even been a little bit of a change as well.
And people really like Commander because it's so personalized, where you can choose like the characters that you can either relate with or that you like or their abilities, and then you can just put whatever you want in it. It can be competitive, it can be fun, it can be kind of gimmicky, it can just be anything you want, and I think that's what really draws people to it.
When I play, I just want to wow people. I don't even care about winning. Winning isn't as exciting as like I won in the most ridiculous way.
If you're not really worried about playing exactly perfectly and you're just like trying to make decent plays and have a good time with your friends, it opens it up to a lot of people who might not necessarily want to devote the time or energy that it takes to be really good at this game.
Magic's not going anywhere, in my opinion. People love the game for a reason, and I don't think anything's going to make that change.